Wait lang,
What
pakiulit.
is
Ayan na. Start mo na.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our topic for today is taxation. So, what is tax and taxation? Taxation is the imposition of taxes for the purpose of services by the government that benefits the Filipino citizens. Nakikita natin na gaya ng mga kalsada, public buildings, saka marami pang iba. And it also promotes economic growth. Types of taxes. National taxes. National taxes refer to national internal revenue taxes imposed and collected by the national government through the Bureau of Internal Revenue. So, ang national taxes are those money paid to the government through the Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR, wherein the BIR assesses and collect all internal revenue taxes and issues rule and opinions and compel the tax code. Capital gains tax. Capital gains tax is tax imposed on gains presumed to have been realized by sale, exchange, and other disposition of capital assets. Capital assets is an item that you own for investment or personal purposes such as stocks, stamp collections, real estate properties. Capital gains tax are taxes insisted on gains from our dealings of capital assets. Capital asset is an item that you own for investment or personal purposes, gaya ng stamp collections, tapos yung real estate. Documentary stamp tax, commonly known as DST, is a tax in the Philippines regularly applied to the execution of transaction documents such as issuance or sale of stocks, execution of loan or debt agreements, or the sale and transfer of properties. Itong documentary stamp tax, ito yung tax na naka-indicate sa mga document. Makikita ito sa birth certificate natin. Tapos yung titulo ng lupa. Tapos itong documentary stamp tax na to, binabayaran to ng BIR. North tax. Nation is an act of liberality whereby a person disposes graciously of a thing or right in favor of another who accepts it. In a contract donation, there is a donor and a donee. So the donor, meron siyang tinatawag na liberality wherein there is a freedom in giving something gratuitously. Tong gratuitously means transferring something without receiving payment in return. Next report.
Estate tax. It's a tax on the right of the decreased person to transmit his/her estate to a lawful heirs and beneficiaries at the time of death, and one certain transmit which are made by law as evaluate to testamentary disposition. It is a tax imposed on the privilege of transmitting property upon the death of the owners. Ito ay isang buwis na karapatan ng nababasang tao na ilipat ang kanyang ari-arian sa mga legal at ang mga benepisyaryo sa oras ng kamatayan. At sa ilang mga paglipat ng ginawa ng batas bilang katumbas ng testamentary disposition. Ito ay hindi buwis sa ari-arian, ito ay isang buwis na ipinapataw sa pribilehyo na pagpapadala ng ari-arian sa pagkamatay ng may-ari. Ito ay batay sa mga batas na may puwersa sa oras ng kamatayan sa kabila ng pagpapaliban ng aktwal na pagmay-ari o pagtatamasa sa ari-arian ng benepisyaryo. Example, kung hindi nyo pa nililipat ang pangalan ng titulo ng lupa mula sa taong namatay papunta sa kanyang tagapagmana, ang lupa, pondo, kotse o deposisyon sa bangko at iba pang ari-arian katulad ng shares of stock ng isang namatay na tao ay hindi maililipat sa name o pangalan ng kanyang tagapagmana kung walang legal na document na pirmado ng mga tagapagmana o order ng korte para sa paglilipat nito at hindi nabayaran ang estate tax na itinala ng batas. Next slide. Income tax. Tax on all annual profit made from property ownership, profession, trades, or office. It is also a tax on a person, income, emolument, profits, and the like. Ito ang buwis sa lahat ng taunang kita mula sa pagmamay-ari ng ari-arian, mga propesyon na kalakalan o mga opisina. Ito rin ay isang buwis sa kita ng isang tao, emolument, kita at iba pa. Next. Percentage tax is a business tax imposed on a person or entities who sell or less goods, properties, or services in the course of trades or business, who gross annual sales and receipts do not exceed the amount required to register as VAT registered as payer. Ito isang buwis sa negosyo o ipinapataw sa isang tao o entity na nagbebenta o umuupa ng mga produkto, ari-arian o serbisyo sa panahon ng kalakalan o negosyon na ang kabuuang taunang benta o mga resibo ay hindi lalampas sa halagang kinakailangan upang magparehistro bilang mga nagbabayad ng buwis ng nakarehistro sa VAT. Next, sister. Value-added tax. Ito ay a business tax imposed and collected from seller in the course of trade or business, or vendor or service. It is an indirect tax, thus it can be passed on the buyer, causing the increase of prices of the goods and services brought and paid by consumer. Halimbawa nito, ang mga manufacturer ay bumibili ng materials na kinakailangan sa paggawa ng produkto ay nagbabayad ng VAT. Ang mga wholesaler naman ay nagbabayad ng VAT sa pagbili ng mga produkto mula sa manufacturer. Gayon din ang mga retailer na nagbabayad ng VAT sa mga produktong binibili ng mga wholesaler. At ang huli, ang consumer ay nagbabayad ng VAT sa pagbili ng produkto ng mga retailer. Next report.
Excise tax. An excise tax is any duty on manufactured goods that is levied at the moment of manufacture rather than at sale. Excises are often associated with customs or levied goods that become taxable items at the border, while excise is levied on goods that come into existence inland. Ito ay mga indirect tax sa gobyerno, tax ng mga goods and services. Ito ay tax ng products ng isang company. Lahat ng mga goods and services ay may tax. Karamihan ay indirect tax like tax of the beverage at alcohol, and depende rin sa product kung malaki ang products na yan like beverage, mas malaki ang indirect tax na babayaran sa government. Example ng mga excise tax ay mga alcohol beverage per unit. Next. Withholding tax on compensation. It is an approximate of income tax liability on compensation required to be withheld by the employer upon every payment or accrual or recording of salaries and wages in its books of accounts. Isa ito na income tax. Yung mga employee ay sila yung mga nag-hold ng employer tax tapos direkta nilang binabayaran sa government, pero yung pera na binayad ay maibabawas sa sahod ng mga employers. Sinasabi dito na ang withholding tax ay isang magandang contributor sa mga internal revenue sa mga level ng individual dahil ang mga employer ay automatically deduct yung tax sa mga payroll. Next. Expanded withholding tax. It is a tax prescribed on income payments and is credible against the income tax due of the payee on other income, subject to regular rates of tax for the taxable year. Ito na income tax, yung mga employee ay sila yung mga nag-hold ng employer tax tapos direkta nilang binabayaran sa government, pero yung pera na binayad ay maibawas sa sahod ng mga employee. Next. Withholding tax o government money payments. Taxes withheld by government offices including those owned or managed by the government before making any payments to companies and local government units, individuals, businesses, partnerships, and or organizations. Ito ay binabayaran sa gobyerno pero hindi ito maibabawas. Ito ay regular na sahod. Example na lang ng PNP, 'di ba? 40 plus sahod nila, pero hindi yun yung makukuha nila kasi maibabawas sa mga uniforms and needs nila So yung final na sahod nila ay 3K na 3K na lang ang final na makukuha nilang sahod. Next reporter.
Before we move on to letter B, the local tax, let me clarify the purpose of withholding tax. Maybe some of you will ask what is the reason why they withhold the tax is because they want to ensure that employees comfortably pay whatever income tax they owe before they give their salary. And let's move on to letter B, local taxes. It is This local taxes is based on Philippine local government taxation. As mentioned in RA 7160 or the Modified Local Government Code of 1991, LGUs such as provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangays impose these taxes, fees, or charges. So yung local taxes is ito yung mga sinisingil ng mga galing sa municipalities or which means mga local, kagaya ng mga agricultural land tax, house tax, or di ng mga ilan sa example ng local taxes. Meron ditong ilan. Number 1 is tax on transfer of next. Number 1, under local taxes is tax on transfer, the sale, donation, barter, and any other method of transferring property, possession of real estate. So ito yung mga sinisingil sa mga taong nag-transfer ng tao. Kagaya ng example, ito ay kapag ang magulang mo gustong i-arian, ito ang tax na bang nila mailipat sa iyo ang ari-arian nila. Next. Number 2 is tax on business of printing and publication. This applies to firms that print or publish books, posters, handbills, receipts, certificates, cards, booklets, and other similar items. So understandable naman ito na this kind of tax is nasisingil lang sa mga companies na nagpapublish ng books or mga cards. Next reporter.
Franchise tax refers to the tax paid certain enterprise that want to do business in some states, also called privilege tax. It gives the business the right to be characterized and or to operate within the states. Franchise tax support the local economy through job creation and payment of taxes. It is also called the privilege tax. It paid by the company who wish to conduct or offer a business to anyone who is willing to do so. This tax applies to corporations, partnerships, and some non-government organizations and non-profits. Also, it is not the same as income tax because it is not based about the profits. Some of this franchise business includes McDonald's, Starbucks, Pizza Hut, and many more. Also, the francs and automobiles. Next. Tax on sand, gravel, and other quarry resources. The city may levy and collect not more than 10% of fair market value in the local per cubic meter of the ordinary stones and gravel, sand, gravel, earth, and other quarry resources as defined under the National Internal Revenue Code, amended extracted from public. In the House Bill number 748, there are 5 sections. The first one is Section 138 of RA number 7160 says that the taxation on the sand, gravel, and other quarry resources is deleted. In section number 2, this is a new section to be dominated as section 146-A says that the municipality will collect not exceeding 10% of fair market value per cubic meter of the said topic as defined under the NIRC or the National Interval Revenue Code that extracted from public lands and other public waters within its territorial jurisdictions. The the proceed tax distributed as 60% to the municipality and 40% to the barangays. This bill seeks to transfer the power to issue permits from the provincial governors to the mayors from the proposed Republic Act number 7160. Section number Section 3, new section as 151-A is added after Section 151 granting to the cities. And ang sa Section 2, 146-A sa municipality iyon and sa 151-A sa city naman. So, Section 4, Section 43, 45, 46, 48, 49, and 50 of Republic Act number 7942 known as the Philippine Mining of 1995. Section 7 of Republic Act number 8975 as an act to ensure the expeditions, implementation, and completion of government infrastructure projects by prohibiting lower courts from issuing temporary restraining orders, preliminary injunctions, or preliminary mandatory injunctions, providing penalties for violations and for other purposes. These sections includes the other existing laws, orders, decrees, lahat ng rules and regulations. Next. Professional tax. Paying is the duty of citizen. It helps government administer fairly and provide benefits to those who need it the most. You pay taxes on almost everything including foods, clothes, and fuel. Your income is also taxable, although it differs from the professional tax deducted from your income every month. Professional tax is a tax that is levied by a state government on all individuals who earn a living through any medium. Do not be confused that the word of professionals that indicates people such as doctors. This means that the tax is to be paid by every single single earning individual. The amount collected is based on your salary or income monthly. Professional tax collected by the employers from the monthly salary. It is then paid by them to the government failing which they can have penalties imposed on them for not collecting or failing to pay professional tax. Of course, if you are not working for anyone or any government organization, you are also liable to pay for your tax. Some professional tax is applicable for companies, firms, corporations, and many more. Exemption of professional tax, I do not know if this is applicable to all workers or employers, deaf, blind, and mute who are earning a salary. Individuals who have a permit for a single three-wheeler or tricycle to carry goods. Next. Amusement tax. Imposed on the general admission charges to recreational and entertainment event. The tax may be imposed on the admission charge or on the owner's total admission receipt, but the pure amusement tax is almost always quoted separately and presumably shifted to the buyer of the ticket. Republic Act No. 8424, Section 125, there shall be collected from the proprietor or operator of those entertainment and recreational activities. Some example of recreational and entertainment activities are boxing, playing theaters, and concerts. Next.
So next, annual fixed tax for every delivery truck or van of manufacturers or producers, wholesalers of dealers or retailers in certain products. Annual fixed tax for every vehicle used by manufacturers, producers, wholesalers, dealers, or retailers in the delivery of distilled fermented liquors, soft drinks, cigars, and cigarettes, and other products to sales outlets or consumers, whether directly or indirectly, within the province. This type of tax is usually imposed as determined by the local provincial councils through which the truck or trucks pass through or deliver their cargo. So ito ay uri ng local tax na ini-impose sa kahit anong uri ng sasakyan. Kumbaga sa mga nagde-deliver na van, truck na ginagamit for delivery, manufacturing and retailing within the province directly or indirectly. Example, kilala siyang company at magtatayo ng isang business delivery. Kumbaga sa province na pag-deliver niya, mag-a-apply yan sa tax para makapag-operate sa lugar na pinag-establishan niya. Pero yung council ay magtatalaga kung saan yung location ng pagde-deliver niya, sa lugar lang ba na yon o sa lugar lang ba na to. Basta fix pa rin yung binigay kahit gaano karami ang delivery. Kunwari ang dapat bayarang tax, 100,000. So, predetermined na, alam mo na agad yung babayaran mo. Whether na deliver mo yung isang product o hindi, dapat kailangan mo yung bayaran na sinabi sa'yo ng local provincial board. Next. Tax on business is imposed by sites or municipalities on businesses before they will be issued a business license or permit to start operations based on the schedule of rates prescribed by the local government code as amended. Businessmen pay this tax if they apply for a mayor's permit to conduct their business in the local government unit. Rates of these taxes vary among cities and municipalities. So halimbawa na lang, nagpatayo ka ng business mo, yung maliit lang. So, maliit din yung babayaran mong tax. Kasi dito, sinabi based on the schedule of rates. So, schedule of rates, ito yung nagastos mo o mga sa pagpapatayo sa labor, contractor. Kung baga nakagastos ka ng milyon sa pagpapagawa ng business mo, so expect na mas mataas din yung tax mo. Kunwari na lang, nagpatayo ka ng gas station, so milyon yung magagastos mo. So bago yon, mag-a-apply ka ng business permit mo. Tapos yung mga nasa council, sila ngayon yung magde-determine ilan yung percent, kung ilang percent yung babayaran mo mong tax annually. Next. Fees for sealing and licensing of weights and measures. Imposed for the sealing and licensing of weights and measures. This is to impose regulations with regards to such weights and measures as prescribed by the city, provincial, or municipal council. So it is about the weight and measures naman. Kumbaga, dapat ganito lang yung bigat ng something na product mo. Dapat yung measurement dapat prescribe lang ng kung ano yung sinabi ng counselor. Dahil kung nasobrahan sa weight o size ay magkakaroon ng additional. Next. Fishery rentals, fees and charges imposed by the municipalities, city to grantees of fishery privileges in the municipality, city waters, especially the privilege to build fish corrals, cells, or other aquatic beds of bangus, fry areas, and other as specified in the local government code. So, more on focus siya sa fishery rentals. For example, nag-rent ka ng malaking fish pond at kumita yan ng milyon-milyon, so magbabayad ka din ng malaki. So, pag maliit naman din yung nirentahan mo, maliit din yung bayaran na. Next.
Community tax. The community tax is paid in the place of residence of individual or in the place where the principal office of juridical entity is located. A community tax certificate or CTC is used to every person or corporation upon payment of the tax. The tax is primarily collected by the city or municipal treasurer. The purpose of community tax certificate is a proof that an individual is a resident of the city, municipality, and that he and she paid the necessary dues arising from income derived from the business exercise of professional and or owner of the real properties in the area. Ito is parang census lang. Lahat tayo nagbabayad sa municipal treasurer para ma-detect nila kung ilan yung mga nakatira sa isang municipalities. Next. Taxes levied on the barangay on the stores or retailers with fixed business establishment. Barangay are authorized to generate income on the store or retailers with fixed business establishment and gross sales or receipts in the preceding years of 50,000 pesos or less in the cities and 30,000 pesos or less in the municipalities at the rate not exceeding on 1% such as gross sales or receipt. Ito naman yung mga binabayaran ng mga may store or retailer sa isang barangay. Bago sila kuha ng business permit nila, kailangan din nilang magbayad ng buwis. Every month yata yon. Nagbabayad sila dito doon para malaman ng barangay na may income din yung mga store nila na kinuhanan nila ng business permit. Next reporter.
Service fees or charges. Barangay upang maibigay nila ang mga sumusunod na serbisyo.
gaya ng pang-agrikultura tulad ng mga pasilidad na kinabibilangan ng sistema ng pamamahagi ng mga material, pagtatanim at pagpapatakbo ng mga istasyon ng koleksyon at pagbibili ng mga sakahan. Serbisyong mga barangay clearance document issued by the barangay secretary. Maraming mahalagang negosyo, trabaho o personal na transaksyon. Maaring kailanganin mo ito para sa mga dahilan na pag-apply gaya ng trabaho or pag mag-open ka ng account mo. Tapos na,